Does your child's room look like a tornado hit the toy store? Yeah, mine too. Well, prior to this week anyway. But I finally did something about it. I not only just cleaned her room, but I designed a system so that it actually stays clean. I'm a process engineer by trade, so the same strategies that I use with corporations to help them streamline their processes and flows, I'm bringing to my home, and in particular in my daughter's room, so that she has a room that she feels comfortable playing in, resting in, and even when it gets a little untidy, she has a system that she can go to clean it up very efficiently. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm Latoya. Today I'm showing you exactly what I did to transform my 7-year-old daughter Liana's room and showing you how you can apply the same strategies anywhere in your life as well. So let's get to the root of the problem here. My daughter is very well loved. We are grateful and very blessed that she has two sets of grandparents who shower her with not only love, but gifts each and every Christmas and birthday. Mind you, her birthday is 4 days before Christmas, but her room became a point of contention. She got so stressed when it was time to clean her room. She's refused friends coming over because she gets so overwhelmed and not wanting to clean it before they get over here. And there just needed to be something done about the room. And it wasn't that she didn't have a dresser or bins, tubs, the tools. She had all of the tools in the room to put the toys away, but the problem was there was no structure or no system into how she was utilizing it to keep the room clean. Also came to see is that we had a flux issue. The inflows were a lot greater than the outflows, meaning that she receives so much more stuff than we get rid of on an annual basis. It creates a problem when it comes to systems and flows because if the input is greater than the output, then you have a growing volume problem, which is what we were experiencing in this room. And so before you go in to solve a problem, to fix a system, you have to do step one, which is observe the habits. And some of the habits that I observed with my daughter is that, she collects pretty much the same things. She loves dolls. She loves baby dolls. She loves Barbie. She loves the accessories. She loves pretending and make believe. She loves to get dressed. She loves clothes. She gets lots of different clothes. But especially with her clothes, what I noticed is that, I noticed and her brother noticed that she would often leave her clothes in the bathroom when it's time to do the night routine, shower, bath, washing your face, all this sort of thing. She would leave her clothes on the floor. So that was one of the problems that I noticed. So instead of continuing to tell her, Liana, go get your clothes out of the bathroom, put them in your room, I instead moved her hamper from her room, which is where I am now, into the bathroom. So that removes one less step for her to remember to do. So instead of pick your clothes up with you when you exit the bathroom, bring them into your room, then put them into your hamper, it's just pick them up off the floor and put them in the hamper. Ask yourself this: does your system align with the existing habits, or do you need to retrain? Do you need to teach your children? Do you need to teach your husband? Okay, this is how we've been doing it and it's not working. We either need to design for the habits or retrain the habits around the desired result. Step two is build the system. The first thing that we did was sort everything. I am a huge lover of the show Hoarders, and so I learned a lot from the show. They tell the folks on the show who are trying to clean their homes to create piles. You have a trash pile, you have a keep pile, and you have a donate pile. So there's some things that they're just not going to be used ever again by you or anybody else. You trash that. Your keep pile, things that you just really don't want to part ways with. And for Liana, we were not going to throw away dolls. We just weren't going to do it. Maybe one day we're going to consolidate. If she gets some more dolls and we'll downsize and we'll, kind of sort through. She gets 10 new dolls, maybe we'll get rid of or donate 10 more dolls. But we knew that we were going to keep some things, which are the things that she plays with regularly, the things that brings her the most joy, the things that make her happy to be in her room and to play. Her books, her stuffies, her blankets, her dolls. Those are the sort of the things that we were just not going to just throw away or donate at this time. And then, of course, the last pile is the donate pile. Things that she probably doesn't play with as much anymore. And she maybe at one point, she really did love the thing and she's creative. So she's going to say, well, maybe one day I can do this with it and create like a use for it on the spot. But that is a trap. Do not do that when you are redesigning your system of cleaning your home, cleaning your room, and designing a system so that it stays clean. This is not the space for creativity. This is the space for constructing the system, following it so that it flows much better. So start there. Build a system. Especially if you're starting with a cluttered room, keep, trash, donate. And the great part of this is that Liana helped me with this once she got home from school. I did the heavy lifting, but there were some things that I wanted her input on to give her some ownership. You want the person who's going to have to upkeep the system to take some ownership and involvement so that they feel like they are part of the process and that it matters to them because they were a part of designing it too. Step 3, reinforce the habits. This is key because this is what's going to make your system sustainable so that it not only for a room gets clean, but it stays clean. I wish I recorded the first moment when she came into her room and she just looked around and she had a really bright smile on her face and she was so thrilled, so excited that her room was clean, and showing her the different zones that we created for her to make it a lot easier for her to make decisions really quickly about where to put things when they were out of place. So in order to reinforce those habits, we walk through each step. So I showed her, okay, this is where your art supplies go. This is where your dolls go. This is where your markers go. We needed her to see that everything had a home, and because everything had a home, it always had some place to go back to. So if I say clean your room and you say, well, I don't know how, that's not true. We've designed a system so that everything has a place and everything has a home, and it always has a place it can go back to. We want calm, consistent repetition, a repeatable system, because no sustainable system exists without the habits to sustain it. All right, grandparents, I'm leaning in because this part is especially for you. Grandparents, aunties, cousins, friends who just love giving gifts. This part, I'm gonna need y'all to really listen in on this part. Village. We know y'all love our littles, but we need you to be a part of this process too. A home system only works if everyone is on board. Yes, that means you. Consider gifting experiences over things. We know it does something for us. It makes us feel good to give someone a gift, especially if it's in a massive box and you see the kids' eyes light up because they're going to open it and they're like, oh my gosh, what is this huge gift? So let's consider gifting experiences over things. But if you do want to give a gift, check in with what the space can actually hold. Liana got a dollhouse that won't even fit in her room. We've repurposed it for another room in our house because it is a beautiful gift. It is a beautiful dollhouse that she will absolutely play with. So it is the right intention for her interests, but the size of her room just could not hold that. And unfortunately, a gift without a home just becomes clutter, and clutter undoes the whole system. So the key takeaways here. Number 1, observe before you organize. Work with the habits, not against them. It's going to be so much easier to design your system based on the habits that are already present, already ingrained into our behavioral patterns versus trying to retrain against something new. But if you must, retraining is possible too. You just have to have a little bit of patience. Number 2, every item needs a clearly labeled home. And everything needs a place. Like if you don't know where to put it, it means that you need to find somewhere to put it. If you don't have space for it, maybe it needs to go. But you need to figure out a way to where everything has a home in order to maintain the integrity of the system that you're building when it comes to a clutter-free room. Number 3, reinforce new habits consistently. The system is the structure. The habits make it stick. I'm gonna say that again. The system makes the structure. The habits make it stick, which means they go hand in hand. Number 4, balance inflows and outflows. 10 things in, 10 things out. You got a birthday and you know that some new stuff is coming in. Maybe the week or weeks before, you go through and do a haul of your toys, your clothes, your books, anything that you typically have or that you're asking people to, because you know you're going to get a text. What does Liana like? What are some of her favorite things? They're going to ask you for what she wants. So go ahead and expect it. Go ahead and start to create a outflow ritual. And number 5, get the whole family on the same page. We want this to be a successful venture for everyone, not just for mom, not just for brother, and especially for your little who you are designing the process for so they can keep their room clean. Everybody has to be on board. I am documenting this process and I have been documenting this process. So be sure to subscribe. We got engineering at home because we are engineering solutions in our home so that they stick, that they're sustainable, and they work to make our lives easy. So drop a comment below. Does your child have a system or are you basically in survival mode? And share this with a parent who needs it. See y'all next time. We got engineering at home.